Hey guys, it's Maddie17 back again. So today I've got for you this gorgeous Hoovermatic Deluxe twin tub washing machine, an Australian model. I've recently been very lucky to find a add-on Gumtree that had a selection of these Hoovermatic twin tubs that a gentleman had in his house, and unfortunately he passed away, and his family were clearing out the house and they found this hoard of 4 Hoovermatic twin tubs, all varying models, but 2 quite rare models. For me anyway, I've not seen these models before. I mean, these models actually have a thermostat and a built-in heater, which I've not ever seen on an Australian Hoovermatic twin tub before. I know that on UK models, they are very common, more common than not. So I hadn't seen them on any Australian Hoovermatics. So I was very excited to find these. This is one of them, obviously. The other one I gave to my friend. I picked up 2 of them because I just wanted the 2 with the heaters, because the other 2 I will pick up if there's not anybody else that wants them. I figured I'd pick up these 2, and then I know that these are still in quite high demand for people who want them, like just want to go back to that nostalgic way of washing, or they just prefer using them. But they said if they don't sell, then I will go and pick them up. I gave the other one that I picked up to my friend Paul, who prefers to use a Hoovermatic because that's what his mum used. He's still got his mum's Hoovermatic twin tub at home that just requires a couple of little repairs here and there. So he was really happy to get another one that he can use for parts or use as his daily washer. But I was really happy to give that to him. So these machines, for those who are really familiar with them, they have the pulsator wash action, or the Hoover boiling wash action, or whatever it was called. It's so powerful that it could wash an entire load in just 4 minutes. So your timer doesn't go anywhere above 4 minutes. If you want it to wash more than 4 minutes, then you just have to keep turning the timer around. I've always been a little bit skeptical of that, not gonna lie. But do you know what? It does a good job. These have got, so as I said before, these have got the thermostat and the heater link timer. So these 2 work in conjunction with each other once you use the heater side. So this will sit and heat. Once you select a temperature, it'll sit and heat to that temperature. If you've got the wash timer set, then the minute that it reaches the temperature that you set it to, then it'll just click on to wash, and it'll just carry on washing. It'll wash for the 4 minutes and then sit. And if you're not around, then it'll just keep maintaining that temperature until you're ready to come back. It's got the auto rinse as well, which is up here. So that's another thing that's quite unique about these machines. The Australian models, I should say, is that British models and American models that had the auto rinse feature, they had a fill flume that was here, and it popped up and you could move it either way, so you could fill the wash or the spinner. That's how you did your auto rinsing. It popped down so that you could close your spinner lid and do your auto rinsing without it getting in the way. And there was a hose on the back that linked up to your tap, and that's how you did it. Now Australians simplified this a little bit and just drilled a hole through the top of the spinner lid and then put a port in there. So you just put your specially designed fill pipe in the spinner lid and run the tap. The auto rinse feature, for those who don't know how that works, it's basically a water level sensor in the spinner that either activates or turns off the spinner. So it lets it fill with water to a certain amount, lets it spray the load. Once it gets to a certain level, it will activate the spinner, pump all the soapy water out until it's slowed down, and then cut the spinner off and let it fill again. And it'll just do that until you are ready to stop it, until you're ready to turn the water off and for it to just go on to spin dry. as it says in the manual or in the washing tips for these types of machines, basically do it until the water runs clear. Right, I'm not going to talk too much more because I've already talked for 5 minutes, which is a long time. So today we're going to do a 48-degree wash for 4 minutes with some dark colours. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the wash tub up with cold water, add the soap, let it dissolve the soap, and then I'm going to let it heat with the clothes in, so it does like a cold static heat with the clothes in, so we're getting a soaking action as well as the heating action. And then once it's got to 48 degrees, we'll let it wash as normal. But let me get it filled up and I will come back. Okay, we're back. We've filled up the wash tub up to the water line, which is yeah. So now I'm going to activate the timer. Just going to put it on 4 minutes and then turn it on. Got some Tide here, Tide mountain spring with a little bit of washing soda in it. Let that dissolve for a moment. Okay, I think we're heated. So now I'm just going to load the clothes. I'm going to see how many I can fit and before it starts to lag. And I will come back. Okay, we've loaded the clothes. I've let it figure out how to agitate them best around the drum. So it's all nicely loaded. I'll just give it a quick once over just to make sure that they're moving properly. Perfect. And now we can set our heater. So we are going to set it to 48. Now you can hear that the timer's clicked off. So now we are in full heat phase. So there's an element underneath the grid at the bottom of the tub next to the drain port. That will have kicked in now. I think it's a 2.4 kilowatt heater. So the only thing I can do now is shut the lid. Shutting the lid helps keep the heat inside, which then helps it heat faster, so it's not escaping out the top. And I'll hear it in a minute. Well, I'll hear it in about 20 minutes when it kicks off into wash after it's heated that load. I think we're almost there. Maybe not though, but you can hear it heating. Okay, it just clicked off into wash. So we've definitely reached 48. might have like one item too many in there, that's why it's getting a bit laggy. It's just getting caught on that bottom. It's probably due for a new belt, but I don't know how to find, or don't know if I'll find new belts for this. It does shift it though eventually. There you go. That's your wash. Right, time to start the auto rinse. I will get these shifted into the spinner. Okay, I've shifted it all over to the spinner. I'll bring the drain hose over here because I'm going to wash a dressing gown afterwards, so I need to save the wash water. So I'm going to put the spin mat on, and I'm going to give them an initial spin out, and then I'll put it onto auto rinse. So okay, now we're going to slip it over to auto rinse. So all you need to do now is just turn your tap on and it'll carry on with the auto rinse. As you can see, it's spraying over the entirety of the load, so it gives them a good soaking. I think that's rinsed enough now, so we're just gonna, oops, jeepers, turn off our water and turn on the wash spin. Just spin it, mate. And let it do a final spin. So now that we've finished all the washing and the rinsing, we can empty the tub. This uses the spin dryer as the mechanism to power the pump. So the spin dryer drives the pump, and all you have to do is switch the valve over. So when you've got it on this side, obviously it closes off the drain valve on this side and only drains through the spinner. But if you flip it over to empty tub, you can see through the holes in the bottom of the spinner that some water starts to rush through. That's just because the whole valve is open now, so that when you start the spinner, the pump will then kick out all the water from both sides. So click it over to pump. You can hear a little trickle, see a bit of water. The lid, and away we go. And there we go, that's the washing all done. Thanks guys for watching, see you next time.